Hello and welcome. Thanks for tuning in today. Friday was a great day for silver. It rose in price a little over $2 per ounce and closed the week at $80.83 per ounce. This was after it was announced that the Strait of Hormuz was declared open by Iran. But the strait being reopened ended up being short-lived because Iran decided to announce yesterday that the strait was closed again, and then the IRGC fired missiles at an Indian ship that was approaching the strait. Stay tuned to hear about what role silver has played in the conflict so far, and about the additional stress this is creating on the silver market. Silver and gold both reacted violently to the upside after it was announced that the Strait of Hormuz had been reopened. This has proven to be bullish for the metals because nothing screams trust your fiat currency like geopolitical uncertainty. The dollar strengthened after the attack on Iran, which put downward pressure on the gold and silver market. And I'll just read a little from this Wall Street Journal article to explain why that is. The dollar's outlook depends on the outcome of the Trump administration's conflict with Iran. Macquarie Group's Thierry Wisman says in a note, history demonstrates that the dollar performs well when the U.S. engages successfully abroad and demonstrates leadership. He says the first Persian Gulf War in 1990 to 1991 was followed by 10 years of real dollar appreciation as the U.S. had a well-defined goal. We might see gold and silver react to the downside next week because of Iran's decision to close the strait again. In regards to the conflict, a lot of silver has already been blown up that will not be returning back to the market. There is sparse information about the specific amount of silver used in various missiles and drones, but it is known that silver is often used in their connectors, guidance systems, and batteries. So for fun, I've decided to try and come up with an estimate of how much silver has been destroyed in this conflict so far. Please bear with me here as I present some figures for you to chew on. It's estimated that the average missile has 0.5 to 2 kilograms of silver in it, and the average military drone has 100 to 500 grams of silver in it. It was reported that the U.S. and Israel have intercepted about 1,700 Iranian ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones. Let's just assume that 50% of them were intercepted by missiles and 50% were intercepted by drones. If you take the average of the estimated amount of silver used in these missiles and drones, you get a figure of about 42,340 ounces of silver in the drones and missiles used to intercept them. But then we need to double that to account for the silver in the attack drones and missiles, which brings us to 84,675.2 ounces of silver destroyed. It has also been reported that the U.S. has hit 13,000 targets in Iran since the start of the conflict. Let's assume that 80% of them were hit with missiles or drones, and we'll assume that 60% of that 80% was hit with missiles and 40% was hit with drones. This gives us an estimated total of 290,899 ounces destroyed, which brings us to a grand total estimate of 375,665 troy ounces of silver destroyed in the conflict so far. There were additional drones and missiles used that weren't accounted for in this figure, as well as naval boats that were sunk that likely had silver in them. So this figure is probably low. And if you believe that Tomahawk cruise missiles have 500 ounces of silver in them, this number would be over 600,000 ounces. I would guess that at least 325,000 troy ounces of silver have been blown up so far in this conflict, but that number could be much higher. Please let me know in the comments below how much silver you think has been destroyed in this conflict so far. This post from the Wall Street Silver subreddit from My Name is Joe Not Jeff points out that the U.S. seeks a 1,200% increase in Tomahawk procurement next year. Japan is also patiently waiting for Tomahawks of their own and has ordered 400 of them. This is on top of the need to replace the drones and other missiles that have been used in the conflict that contain silver as well. It's important to keep in mind that this silver is not coming back to the market, and that silver's use by the military is not tracked by the Silver Institute. So I just wanted to provide something for audience members to chew on and consider. This is not a notable amount of silver when compared to the total amount of silver mined each year, for example, but every ounce counts in a market this tight. So where is the silver for military use going to come from? Well, the same place all of the other silver comes from, the mining and recycling supply. And we are currently in the 6th year of a structural deficit in the silver market, while the COMEX is running low. With 77 million ounces available for delivery and 582 million ounces of open interest on that silver in the form of paper claims, only about 13% of it could actually be delivered if it was requested. Based on the recent withdrawal rates, it's estimated that the COMEX will deplete all of its deliverable silver in just over 900 days, according to this website. Silver's overall long-term price trajectory is up, even though it will experience price pullbacks here and there. I think of silver as a long-term investment and hope that anyone who gets their hands on some silver will be able to hold on to it for years in order to get the most out of it. At some point in the coming years, the silver supply deficit will turn into a silver supply crisis because silver is needed in multiple industries in our modern world, and there is only so much of it to go around. When this happens, it's hard to say how high the price will go for this commodity that's price has been artificially suppressed by the paper market for decades. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I hope you have a great day out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.